Hi everyone, it's Allison from Fathom 5 Tarot, and I'm here to do a video response to Tom Benjamin. I love Tom Benjamin. Oh my God, he's so great. He did a video about beautiful tarot decks because we all need some beauty right now. And it really struck a chord with me because things are getting more stressful where I live anyway. I don't know, just want to look at pretty things and touch my decks and show pretty decks. So I thought I would jump on the bandwagon, and I encourage you to as well, because not only am I interested in what people have in their collection as their most beautiful decks, but I'm also so interested in what people choose, because I wouldn't buy a deck if I didn't think it was beautiful in some way. All of my decks are beautiful. But today, on this particular day, and I gave myself literally 2 minutes. I stood in front of my decks and I was like, no takes backs, no change these. So changes these. So if you were to ask me in 10 minutes, I might pick different things. Some of them are probably pretty constant, but I didn't allow myself any second guessing. Otherwise, I would have been there forever. And I have one Oracle deck because I'm not really a huge Oracle deck person, but I thought, why not talk about pretty things? So I am. So that's what we're doing today. I should say that I think that all of these, except one, are in print somehow. There's some indies in here, so they may be harder to get, or like you might have to wait for another printing of them, but I don't think they're going out of print except one. So we'll get started. And I almost didn't show this one because I was like, it's too mean. If you guys have been following the tarot talk in the world, the Bonestone and Earthflesh tarot, but it's too beautiful. I just couldn't not have it on here. I was a very early, like first 5 minutes, supporter of this deck. It's quickly just shot to the top. I can't stop looking at it. I did a video about it that I can link. And I talked about some of my favorite cards. And again, I had to stop myself because I could have talked about all of them. But I love Anna Turian's art, but it's not just that. I love the ideas behind the cards. I love the coloration. I feel like I can really see Avalon Cameron in here. And plus, I know lots of people contributed to ideas. Again, I talked in the other video about, I'm not going to go through it again, but I didn't contribute in that way. But boy, am I ever glad to have the benefit of this beautiful deck. It doesn't really help. Gilded backs, and again, I actually it's so beautiful that it's gilded, but I was like, it's so earthy that if it wears, then I think that'll be beautiful too. So I'm sorry, we can't get this. Check out Facebook groups, but I heard that it's like selling for just bonkers amounts of money, and I know somebody already, one person I saw on Facebook got scammed, so be careful. But I will say, in some ways, if you were desperate to have this one, there are two alternatives. One is Anna Turian is working on her own tarot deck, so the artist of that deck, I'll link her shop below. Can't go wrong with her. She has a beautiful oracle deck that I didn't pull it for today, but it is gorgeous. But I think that there's another deck that shares some of the aesthetic sensibilities of the Bonestone. It's a very different deck, don't get me wrong. But if you don't already have the Light Seers Tarot by Chris Ann, now this happens to be the indie version because I'm also a big Chris Ann fan and I backed this very early on Kickstarter. We're both Ontario girls. She's Canadian, so I love to support her work. But I think maybe you'll see, like I'll just pull up a couple cards together here. So again, different, but borderless and colorful and thoughtful of an interpretation. And let me just do a couple more here. I don't think they're worlds apart. They're very different. But if you were yearning for that kind of aesthetic, I think you could do a lot worse than trying to match it with the, Light Seers Tarot. I don't know. I just think they're reminiscent of each other for me. And there is a readily available, very well priced, but very high quality indie deck by Hay House. I think there were some initial problems, but the copy that I got later, I wasn't going to get it, But the truth is, I actually find this one a bit hard to work with because the cardstock is so thick and luxurious. Like, what a problem, right? But I find it a bit more hard to shuffle, and the indie editions are really nice to shuffle. So that also makes my list of most beautiful. And if you haven't checked it out, check it out, because I think it's a very different deck, but aesthetically similar. So that's my second one. Now the third one, sorry, I don't know if you can hear, my dog is whining at my cat. Shush, shush, shush. It's okay, guys. Every time. Now this one, I think, is still commercially available pretty easily. And it's the Medieval Scapini Tarot by Luigi Scapini. And I think this deck is beautiful, and I don't see people talking about it very much. Let me just show you the box, because I think you can easily get a mass market edition. I did hold out and wait on eBay for this one. As you can see, it's been taped together by its previous owner. The one with the window in the box, because I've heard that the colors are a little bit sharper on this version, and the cardstock is great. And I think I got it like delivered for $40, $45, maybe. I think it was probably under $45. It's a little bit bigger than a standard tarot deck. So like a little bit taller, I should say, but it's also a little bit skinnier. I'm terrible at these matchups. Take my word for it. Skinnier. I get all turned around because everything's backwards. Oh, I put the wrong one down. And the art, the backs, I think, are gorgeous. Like, I love this sort of antique-y style. Their cards aren't white. They're cream colored, which adds the antique-y style. I just think they're super cool. Now, there is a book, an accompanying book called Art and Arcana, which I can't find anywhere for less than $700. And that's pretty frustrating because apparently, I mean, not only are there all kinds of groovy things in these cards, but apparently Scapini like drew himself into the cards. There's like all kinds of Easter eggs in there. And it was in 1985. Like, it looks like a medieval deck, but it's 1985. And I just think it's really cool when I want to feel sort of like unlocking mysteries, and I just love it. It's not always Rider-Waite-Smith correspondent, but I don't really care. Like, I don't know. I just have fun with it. I don't think I would read for somebody else with it. I don't have that kind of confidence. Maybe if I managed to get my hands on that book. If anybody's got any like heads up on how I can get a hold of that book, I'd love to know. I don't think there's a Kindle version or anything. Anyway, super groovy. I love the rope borders on this one. Often I don't like extra borders, but I feel like these really add to the whole feel of it. Look at that Judgment card. The other thing I will say about this deck, consistently, it doesn't show up on screen as beautiful as it is in person. Like, these colors to my eyeballs are way more vivid. I don't think I can get them maybe any brighter unless I really sort of go in. But just take my word for it. They never come across well on screen. When I see people rarely talking about this deck, I'm always like, oh gosh, it's just not translating across the computer. I'm also losing light here because getting to the dark time of year. My next beautiful deck won't be a surprise to anyone because it's one of my favorites and it's so beautiful. And it's the Pagan Otherworlds. I think Tom Benjamin picked this one as well. What can I say? Just like this moon card. Come on. Now this one I read with all the time. I love this deck. It's one of my favorite pip decks because it's illustrated pip, so it's I cannot make that cross into Marseille so far anyway. It doesn't interest me, a bunch of swords just hanging out. But this one, cardstock is gorgeous. The paintings are beautiful. They've got like this sort of classical yet surreal vibe to them. Well, that one's pretty pippy, but you still got boats. Strength is a bear. I mean, everybody knows. I shouldn't say that. Not everybody maybe knows this deck, but it's a great deck, and I love it. And it is for sure. Like, if I had to pick one out of my collection as the most beautiful, it'd be hard to top this one. I think it's just so beautiful. Oh, come on. Can we even? Woof. Pagan Otherworlds. Now, the next one I chose, because to me, it's like the baby sister to the Pagan Otherworlds. in that it looks like paintings in a gallery. And it is the Anima Mundi Tarot by Megan Serweden. No, Wyreweden. I always get that wrong. Wyreweden. Anyway, she's on Etsy. Under... Oh, I can't think of her Etsy shop name. That's horrible. Here's my cat. Kitty. 1 second. Oh, yeah. And there she is. Hello. There we go. Go bother the other kitties. I have too many pets. It's got the same sort of, like, if we just look at a random card, you can see it's got the same sort of, like, picture framing aesthetic to it. The art style's quite different, but it's that same, it looks like paintings on a wall. And I'm a huge fan of animal and nature-based decks. Other than traditional Rider-Waite-Smiths, that's what I have the most of, probably. Might be an interesting video to do. Just count up how many RWS clones I have, and then how many just straight up animal decks I have, because I have quite a few. Too many, maybe. But it's not entirely animals. As you can see, there were plants in there. But I love human-free decks. You'll see the first card I drew was the Devil card. That's the only human in this deck, which is perfect. And the guidebook for this deck is really great. I love it. Cracks me up. I saw a trash panda last night. When I first did my walkthrough of this deck, it was like my first, not unboxing even, because I always unbox first, but I was like, oh, Hangman is a spider. I don't know if I like that. But then I read the book and I like it. Read the book. She had a great reason. So, puppy. Okay. Now, 2 more beautiful tarot decks and then 1 beautiful oracle deck. So the next one, and again, this could have been, is a real toss-up. But I can't have beautiful decks without talking about Robert Place. And so this is the Tarot of the Sevenfold Mystery. And again, it was such a toss-up between this and the Alchemical Tarot, because they're very similar. Some cards are very similar. There's no sort of bones about that. They're both equally beautiful. And I just love his art. I mean, look at that. It's just, and again, I don't think maybe the computer's doing the colors full justice. They're so rich and so full of meaning that you can get either from his books or just by reading intuitively. He's so good. I have 4 of his decks. Alchemical, Sevenfold, which is this one. His oh my God, what's the matter with me? His Lenormand deck, which I can't think of. Guys, I'm a teacher in a pandemic. I got nothing left. And then the Vampires Tarot, which is so cool, which I'm going to be talking about because it's Halloween, of course. I'm going to pull out all my decks and do all that again. It's a great deck. The back is not reversible. I don't really read reversals, so I don't much care. The cat's just clearly going to come into this video. She came into the last one too. Hi, baby. But that might bother you a bit. I don't know, actually, now that I'm saying that. Tarot of the Vampires has a reversible back, but I don't think Alchemical does. I just can't picture it right now. Oh, well, I have the 3rd edition, which I wanted specifically because of the colors, and it does not for sure have a reversible back. But since then, there's been another edition, so I just am not 100% on that. But that is the Tarot of the Sevenfold Mystery by Robert Place, and my cat is knocking over all sorts of things. Last deck, and again, I can't not put the Naked Heart Tarot in my most beautiful. It's a super different aesthetic than the other ones we've had. And partly it's just because of my deep love for this deck. I was like, I cannot leave you out, Naked Heart. But I love black and white decks with pops of color. I just love them. I love the Wild Unknown. I love the Naked Heart. Do I have more like this? I'm not sure, because this is one of my top go-to decks for sure. And I took this deck as well to just a group meetup, and it blew everybody's mind. She does also have a companion, well, not really a companion, an oracle deck, which I didn't get because I don't get that much use out of oracle decks. I have to be really picky about my oracle decks or they'll just sit and gather dust. I do like to draw a card, but sometimes some just leave me cold. It's just not my thing. Let me see what other ones I can find. Oh, look at this judgment card. It's, I'm just flipping through these because they're all upside down right now. Oh, look at this little dude. I just think it's beautiful. And the reason I also brought it out is because it's been just jiving so well with my oracle choice, which is the Connected and Free Oracle from Inner Hue. This is a brand new oracle deck to me. I know it's been out for a long time. There have been different printings. And there was an issue I know from Papa Squirrel's video and a couple others about the Lumina Tarot. So she's the creator of the Lumina and the Connected and Free Oracle. And she did a reprint of both. And I just have never, I know when I look at the Lumina, I gasp. It's so pretty. But the people in it, I just have trouble connecting to. Oh, you're exactly where you need to be. Oh, I really like the messages on this. And look at this wild one before I go on. And I know people were disappointed. There was an issue with the box with the Lumina. I didn't really pay attention because I didn't order that deck. So there was a big email that I kind of didn't read, which serves me right, I guess. And then people got their Lumina Tarot and they were on really poor quality cardstock. But I have to tell you, like this version, I don't know why she did this, but she must have gone to a different place for the Oracle deck because this is the nicest cardstock I have in my entire collection. Whatever she has here, it's super thick, it's super sturdy, it's incredibly smooth, it's easy to shuffle. I just love it. And I don't understand why I got so lucky. And I've heard from other people online too that when they ordered this Oracle deck, they felt the same way there. And we're so stunned to hear Lumina people saying, oh, well, my deck quality is terrible. Because I think it's just gorgeous. And look at, let's just do a bit of this. It's like they were made for each other. And that was just they look perfectly matched. And that was just a random pull. Let's do another one. It's just like oops, it'd help if they were right side up. It's like they should be married. All right, kitty. High flying and 3 of Swords. Wouldn't that be an interesting combination? One more. What a pairing. So I'm really happy with that. So as of 6:10 on Tuesday, October 6th. This is what I think my most beautiful decks are. If you ask me at 7:30, feel totally differently probably. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. I'll be coming back this weekend with a fall/Halloween-y deck fun video because it's awesome and it's the season and we got to try and keep things normal, right? So I hope you have an awesome day. I'd love to know what you think the most beautiful decks in your collection are. Or am I missing any great ones that when you see the ones I like that I should get on? Thanks to Tom Benjamin so much for inspiring me to do this video, and I hope everybody has a great night.